3, 2, 1. Nick, where are you going? To be honest, I'm thinking Arby's. That was a quote from Zootopia 2. I'm Adam from Your Movie Sucks. This is Sardonicast.
I'm Alex from HE, and I thought maybe you were going to steal this one, but I'm going to go with, hey, baby, can I vape in your pussy?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Was that Zootopia?
Or? Yeah, that was another Zootopia 2
Yeah, I think
quote.
that was Zootopia 2, right? Or maybe it was the first one. Yeah, I can't remember.
Well, no, because they were talking about a cat, and so it was okay, because like that's how they got around this censorship.
Hi, guys. I'm Adam from YMS,
Hi.
and I'm a Train Dreams.
Ooh.
Nice.
Autistic people do like trains, even though we don't. It's only suspected.
Right.
Alex, you like trains.
You always say this.
You always say this.
I love Tomska. Yeah, man.
Lay off it, man. You're always talking about how I love trains.
Yeah, well, look, we need to equalize the bullying that goes on in the podcast. Right? We need to just spread it out to make it even.
You are the most bullied of all the.
I think
of
so.
The hosts, yeah.
Well, because I'm the least normie. That's how it works.
But I appreciate you're like the lightning rod. You know, you bring all of the, and there's like, you know, it's I don't know why people are so critical of you in the comments. But it is kind of like a tradition at this point, maybe.
Yeah, it's it's just a part of it.
I feel like it's mostly affectionate, you know?
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, you never
At least
know.
from the longtime viewers.
Yeah, affectionate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's circled back around to the point of it, like, being a meme, you know? People have, like, fucking copy pastas. So,
That's true. Yeah.
Who cares? There's a bunch of shit we want to talk about.
Yeah, where do you want to start?
I think we should start off with Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. It's something that Alex was not able to see because Lionsgate hates the British.
Mm-hmm. Understandably so.
Yeah, and I couldn't fit it in anyway. We're kind of cramming in episodes in December this year, so we don't have the normal space. But I've seen, obviously, Kill Bill 1 and 2 before, so I'm kind of curious.
Exactly.
There's like an animated thing thrown in there. There's something to do with Fortnite. What is going on?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of excited for this. So allegedly, The Whole Bloody Affair was a cut of the first 2 Kill Bill films released as one film. And allegedly, the film was originally supposed to be released as one film and only got split into 2 because money, fucking Weinstein's, whatever, you know. And so the original Whole Bloody Affair supposedly premiered theatrically in Japan in like 2006 or something. I don't know if that's true. Like, it might be true. But I have to wonder how different that original version would be from what we got today, because the extra animation sequence, like, was that not created new for this version? I'm very confused, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that seemed like something that was like an obligatory, hey, like, we're going to be re-releasing it, but let's put actual, like, something new in there to try to entice people to come.
Yeah, so was the extra animation even in the original Japanese release? Like, I don't even think so.
I don't think so. I think it was new, yeah.
So, I guess spoilers for Kill Bill 1 and 2, that, you know, it's a 20-year-old, 20-something-year-old movie.
20-year-olds is crazy.
Great movie. We all love it, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, you might hate it. I don't know.
I remember liking part 1 more than part 2.
I was the same way. I always liked part 1. I never loved it. It was never my favorite Tarantino or anything, but I thought part 1 was like, the better half. And my thoughts have changed a lot after seeing The Whole Bloody Affair.
Okay.
But,
Oh, really?
Yeah. I feel like it was just a totally new experience for me. You know, just getting to see it in theaters, but also I think some changes that were made actually helped the movie in a lot of ways.
Oh, like what?
Well, we're talking spoilers, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a quick discussion. We have so many things to talk about.
Yeah. There are 3 key changes, or maybe 4. So the first one is that the opening quote is not the Klingon proverb anymore. It's a dedication to a filmmaker who I don't know of, but it's a dedication to a filmmaker. And then another key change is that it doesn't turn black and white during the big fight, because there was no need because of the censor. So it's just all full color during that. And then there's an extended part of the animation sequence, which I found to be really kind of unnecessary. Like, it was fine, but it really fucked with the pace, because that's already kind of like a long digression. And then it keeps going and going. I'm like, okay, this is really like unnecessary.
It does absolutely fuck with the pacing of that scene. And, perhaps I'm just going to throw out my bias. I've seen part 1 and 2 about a trillion times, right, when I was younger. It's been a while since I've seen them. I was kind of waiting for like a 4K Blu-ray or, which I got, but then I heard the whole bloody affair was happening. I'm like, okay, I'll wait for that.
Yeah.
And so, this was my first time watching in a while, but I do essentially have the other 2 films memorized down to like a pacing, and especially with them being very music-oriented films, very editing and music-heavy films.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino, part of his charm, one of his biggest talents, I think, is his ability to discover and showcase and utilize existing music in narrative ways in his films. He clearly writes scenes to songs that he's found or heard. This has been done ever since his first film, Reservoir Dogs, Stuck in the Middle with You. Like, he clearly wrote the scene to that song. And Kill Bill's like an entire 2 films where that's happening for like 80% of it. And so me having that pacing, especially with the music, made the changes of pacing in this film feel a lot more noticeable. And there's not that many, but the extra animation scene in particular was like, oh, what? Like, kind of like, your heart skips a beat, but like not in a good way. Like someone's like, what the heck? And then what I didn't like about that animation scene, even though, it was long, unnecessary, probably great for anime fans, probably, great just for people who love anime inherently, but they wound up just replaying the same song. Like, so the song would stop and then it would start again and play that exact same section of the song. And those sections of the song, like very distinct pieces or cues within the piece, I already have associated with parts of a scene that happened 5 minutes ago, right? Where like, the boss is putting out his fucking cigar and the, blood drips from the bed onto her face as she's hiding underneath. Like, very, very distinct cues that hold so much emotional memory for me. Now just being repurposed, I have a suspicion that even if this was a scene that was originally intended to be in Kill Bill and was cut, I have a suspicion that they wouldn't have just played the same song again, right? And that in this version, they're just essentially not wanting to license a new piece of music, which is just kind of irritating and frustrating. And it's not the only example of what I feel makes this re-release kind of just fucking sloppy and thrown together in a way where it doesn't really seem like this purposeful, this is exactly how it would have been, Quentin Tarantino's name plastered all over everything, like as if it's like an artist's full vision. No, it really does feel like they just kind of threw together 2 existing movies with minor changes. And I don't know about your screening, Jake, but like there were people on Reddit complaining even about like the what is it, 30 or 70 millimeter, like some of the film print screenings where they were saying like, yeah, the image quality is like not that good. Like, I don't know what the hell this is. In my screening, it was just like a regular digital one. But I also noticed like this is like worse quality than the 4K Blu-ray. Like what is going on with this transfer? Like, why does it look like
That's
not
right.
a clear image quality for something I'm seeing in a theater? How did your experience go?
I saw it digital as well, and it was like a really nice big screen, and it was like one of those situations where it's cropped, so it's like it could have filled up more of the screen, but for some reason it was kind of like cropped to the widescreen. I don't know what that was about. And yeah, the quality wasn't like spectacular. I actually thought like it's got to be, I feel like it'd look better on like a 4K, like on my TV or something a little bit. But it was fine. It it wasn't like distracting me at least. But it's interesting because you have this experience of being like devoted to the original 2 films and like knowing it beat by beat. And I've seen those. It's been years. So it's like really kind of rediscovering the films themselves. So it's not like I'm going, oh, well, this changed in this part. And like, it was way more like just getting a unified experience and having the opportunity to sit down and like, just bathe in all of the glory of what this is. And honestly, for like the first half of the movie, I was going like, is this kind of like way worse than I remember? Because I was just like, all of the quirks and mannerisms of Tarantino are so fully on display.
Yes.
It's almost like a parody of himself at this point.
It's a satire film, essentially.
Yeah. It's so like the foot stuff and all of the like needle drops. It's so the needle drops too. It kind of fucks with the pace a lot of times where it's just like, okay, I get like this track. It has to play out so it gets to this moment here, but it's like it's kind of drawn out. So there's moments like that where I'm like, oh shit. And you could tell there were people in my theater who'd never seen the movies before who were kind of like getting a little restless during certain digressions and scenes that, like, for example, the anime sequence, like the new stuff, it does feel like a retread of like the emotional beat that came right before, especially because of the music. Like you said, it's the same.
Exact
so
same
it feels
music.
like we're not getting any new information really. We're just kind of like retreading an emotional beat that we just had. So while I guess if you like love these movies, it can be kind of cool to see more. I also thought the animation style was different enough that it was a bit jarring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, like the older style was a lot looser and more expressive.
Yeah. I wonder if it was the same studio.
But there is one detail that I do want to mention that I think changes a lot in terms of like the emotional climax of the movie, and why I think this version works so well, at least for me, is because like that emotional heaviness that you get at the end of the film, where it's like anticlimactic, where it's just the conversation between the bride and Bill. But at the end of the first half, before the intermission kicks in, we don't get the little tease that Bill says that her daughter is alive.
Yeah.
Which was like the cliffhanger at the end of the first one. That's not there anymore. So you don't, and since it's been so long since I've seen it, it was like brand new, you don't get that moment to hit until she literally sees her daughter at the end of the whole film.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that just like hit like a sledgehammer. Like I was getting, and Uma Thurman is so good in this movie. She's just,
she's great.
Like as much as there's so much artificiality and stuff that like reminds you this is a movie, and that's like fun and exciting, why we love these movies. It's like without her there, that like emotional core, it's so crucial. Like that's what keeps it all together.
I know what you mean. I have like the opposite experience for the cliffhanger and how things are revealed, because I think on paper that sounds like a great idea to remove the cliffhanger, because it's not necessary if it's not like 2 films. But I have a couple problems. Problem A, I do feel like the emotional tone and weight of the cliffhanger at the end of the first movie was pretty fucking cool, right? Especially, like, I remember exactly what fucking music cue comes in with it too. Like, there is something emotionally resonant and powerful about that cliffhanger and things ending.
It's really memorable.
Yes, and things ending on that way. And then, another issue that comes from this is when the reveal does happen, and I'm trying to put myself in the mind of people that like don't expect it to be happening, and now thinking like, okay, yeah, when do we find out? It's literally when she just shows up with Bill. The cue that happens when she's like, bang, bang, mommy, like, there's such a cheesy music cue, and the crank zoom on her face, where it's like, I feel like that's a little less emotionally powerful for that moment. And maybe just like, I don't know how strange and maximalist and editing heavy the film has been up until that point would allow the average viewer to not feel like that's a weird kind of cheeseball way of doing the reveal. Perhaps that's the experience. I wouldn't know, because I can't put my, I'm not that person. I already knew the twist. But yeah, that's how I felt about it. And then also, it doesn't really feel like one movie anyway when you have an intermission in the middle of both movies. Like, I'm pro intermission, right? I'm pro intermission when there's like
both.
a natural break, and you're not, fucking with the pacing. But if the entire selling point is this is one movie now, I mean, there was a longer intermission than the amount of time it would take for me to take out one Blu-ray and put in another, right? So I'm kind of getting like an even more detached experience than if I were watching it at home.
Right.
Maybe not from like, watching it theatrically and then waiting for the second one to come out. But it doesn't really feel like a cohesive, continuous story in this way with the intermission.
Yeah.
Also, there was no timer on the intermission, so shout out to the Brutalist for having a timer.
Yeah, that was good.
Shout out to the Brutalist for having like an actual image to associate with the intermission and music to associate with the intermission. There was no music. It was like the most basic ass fucking like.
Wasn't there a train?
Default.
There was like the sound of a train, I think.
I don't know. I fucking went to the bathroom.
Or maybe that was an actual train.
Probably. I think it was an actual train because, like,
okay.
when the intermission was like, why would there be a train? The actual intermission was like the most default, basic ass like editing software font. Just the word intermission, no timer, no music composed for this, no music leading into the second film, so that when the intermission starts back again, it's just this weird jarring like, okay, we're going from silent title to silent title of like the next chapter
it's like
or whatever.
Chapter 6.
Yeah, and it's just like such a jarring, weird, like, I don't believe that this is like the experience of watching them both together. That just feels like a sloppy, thrown together kind of thing.
Okay. I mean, in a way, I agree with you because I do think you're not really gaining that much, or if anything, maybe you're losing a little bit by seeing it this way from how it was originally shown. Like, you can just watch both movies back to back, which is what most people probably do. I think the best aspect of this reissue is simply the fact that people can go in theaters and watch Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, right there back to back. Yeah, you also miss the beginning of Volume 2 with, when she's driving and says, "I'm going to kill Bill," and that's like an iconic moment. I mean, you lose a little bit, but you gain something out of it too. And I think just seeing it combined in this long format, just I don't know, it reminded me in ways of like other directors' really long, shaggy personal project, like Magnolia or something, or Babylon, or like really egregiously long, very self-indulgent masterpieces that I love to think about. And that's a word that kept running through my head was self-indulgent, but also like enjoying that and appreciating that and seeing like, to me, this seems like his most personal movie. Like it's his, and this is just my reading of it. It's like his interpretation of his parents' divorce, and his parents like not being together, and like this kind of like family strife as seen through all of his childhood loves, all of his favorite things, just so shamelessly. It's like a 12-year-old made a movie about his parents getting divorced, and it's like seen through that lens. It's like so touching. It's almost like an ode to his mom, perhaps, or like there's a lot there that is interesting to look at. That I don't know. I just had a new appreciation for it that before I just kind of dismissed it a little bit.
That's interesting. No, yeah, it doesn't feel like a single film. Like I couldn't compare it to like Magnolia because like that feels like a singular piece. And even being in one theater for one showing, the intermission doesn't help. But also like tonally, they feel like two distinct films. Like I've always considered them to be one film as like an experience. As in, I'm like rating the same story. Like they're both 10 to me because I just love the combination of both of them. But it doesn't really feel like one film. It definitely feels like two different films that are a part of the same story.
What did you think of the Paul Dano cameo? The end of the film.
That was a bit unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess just a couple more things to note about the changes. The Crazy 88 fight scene being in color. Mm-hmm. It was kind of funny just because it doesn't feel different at all. Just to think about how stupid the fucking MPAA are. Like, that changed so much. Oh, the violence we're like seeing. It's like, it's worse if the blood is red. Which like there's so many movies that have like had to skirt around that, like Evil Dead having like characters spurt out like black or white blood or whatever. Like that was all just to not get an NC-17 or like an X rating. And it's so silly. And there is something charming about like how they managed to get around it in the original Kill Bill. The timing of the editing, with it going to black and white on the eye pluck and then coming back in the blue colored silhouette scene. I thought that was a really creative choice. And so it's like, yeah, I would not like a world where the MPAA is forcing those changes to happen, but out of that change needing to happen, there was a really cool creative choice that is in the first film that we only see as part one. I loved that Sophie got her second arm chopped off. That was awesome. That was the thing I liked the most about like the changes.
Oh, that was a change?
No, yeah. In the original cut, she only cuts off one of her arms, and as soon as she says, "Give me your other arm," then it cuts back to like the close shot of her and Bill's hand on her face, and they continue having a conversation. So in the original, the implication is that she only cut off one arm. You never see her full body in either film when she's talking to Bill after the fact. But in this one, you literally just see her fucking chop her other arm off, which is just great. I love that.
That's actually really funny.
Oh, it's great.
That is great. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, what else has changed? Like nothing. And then a shitty fucking Fortnite scene at the very end, past the credits.
Yeah. What is that about? What does that mean?
I guess you can watch it on YouTube.
Wait, I didn't even watch that part.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, I didn't even.
You didn't even stay for it?
No, I did. No, I left during the credits. It was like midnight. I was exhausted.
Oh. So, yeah, basically after the really lengthy credits end, there's one like outtake scene, like a really short outtake. I forget even what the outtake was. And then after that, like a shitty 2D animation of like characters going, "Let's all go to the lobby," which is the intro for the Fortnite animation thing, but just so poorly thought out in terms of where they placed it in the film. So when you're placing that at the end, as soon as you have the animation of characters going, "Let's all go to the lobby," everybody thinks it's time to leave. And so people will just like fucking, and people have posted on Reddit about this too. Like, oh yeah, like people just left during that part because they thought it was a thing from the theater saying, "Let's go to the lobby." Like it's literally saying, "Go to the lobby."
Yeah.
But that's just the intro to the Fortnite thing, which makes it also just, again, abundantly clear that this is just thrown together and not really planned out. They just tacked it on to the end. Should have been a pre-show, in my opinion. It should have been before the film started. But yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. It's fucking horrendous. There is no personality of Quentin Tarantino in it whatsoever at any moment. It is all just Fortnite. There's random like Fortnite looking characters. Yuki drinks like a fucking blue drink to gain health. There's no blood. Literally just like a speck of blue on someone's chest, and it's not even like liquid. It's just like a stain on their shirt.
Wait, did Tarantino direct it?
That's what they say, and I don't believe them.
Yeah, maybe he stood in the room.
I think that he was paid to have his name on it.
Yeah.
They censor the word pussy and pussy wagon, so it's just like a little decal of a cat. Instead, I'm like, just don't even drive the fucking truck. Like, what is it? Like, oh yeah, this is for children, and we're throwing it in. What are we talking about here? And they have the gall. They have the gall to call it The Lost Chapter by Quentin Tarantino. All of those words on the screen.
Yeah.
Like Quentin Tarantino's name just like associated with this, as if this is how he envisioned it to include mostly just a video game that wasn't invented when he made Kill Bill. It was disgusting. That was
surreal.
Horrendous, awful, cringe.
Yeah.
Very difficult to get through. 2 out of 10.
I'm glad I didn't stay for that.
Oh yeah, yeah, and yeah, the entire experience of the whole bloody affair, I think I would give an 8 out of 10. Just like, I feel like my preferred version is the two films separately, and even though on paper I like the idea of experiencing this as one whole thing, it just doesn't feel like this is what the ideal version of that one experience would be. I don't believe that this is what would have been released at the time. I don't believe he would have used the same song again, right? So to me, the whole bloody affair as it was described, if let's say it was something released in Japan in 2006 or whatever, to me that film is still lost and it wasn't released. So I'd be curious to seeing that actual film at some point in the future. Yeah. I mean, yeah, 8 out of 10.
You're not really making me feel like I'm missing out by not seeing this. I feel like I've still got the prime experience of watching the movies. Yeah.
No, yeah. To me, I guess, but...
All right, well... Yeah, I mean, I'm happy I had the experience at least, but yeah, I feel like your complaints are pretty valid, honestly.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to watch this version again for sure. I wouldn't mind. I don't think it's really that huge of a difference between, just minor stuff.
Yeah, I do love the second arm chop.
That is funny. Yeah. That is a good one.
I'll have to think about whether or not I would watch it the home video release, because it's like, okay, will they take out the intermission? Then how will that flow? Like, that's a good question.
You know what's funny? It's been so long since I've seen the second volume that I forgot that she plucks out her eye, Elle Driver's eye.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm. I gasped. I was so good.
Yeah, there's so much great stuff in those movies. But yeah, I give the originals like a 10. And who knows, I might watch them in that form again at some point and on my 4K Blu-rays and stuff, and we'll see if that holds up. But yeah, I have a very, very fond memory of those films. It's a very personal, nostalgic experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
And Vivica A. Fox is in it. Cool cat.
Yep.
True. Yes.
Cool cat cinematic universe.
The most important part.
All right. How you doing, Alex?
I'm good.
Okay.
I like Kill Bill. It was never my favorite Tarantino go-tos though. But every time I've seen it, I've enjoyed them both a lot. But particularly that first part.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel like I'm okay with just watching on my own time and not.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Are these two together about the same length as one Castration movie part one?
Yeah, pretty much, pretty close.
Yeah,
like 4.5 hours. Yeah. So yeah.
We tried to make that discussion quick. It still wound up being like 30 minutes.
I know.
I was talking as fast as I could.
All right. Well, what are we doing next?
Zootopia.
Okay.
What,
all right.
Topia? You mean Zootropolis, right?
Zootropolis. Zootropolis 2, Tokyo Drift. Doggo Woggo Pucho Wucho.
I have very few thoughts about this movie. I thought
really?
It was fine. I thought
was the hottest
good.
character.
It was enjoyable. And it
Jake,
just kind of... What?
What's your persona?
Didn't we talk about this?
I don't remember.
I feel like we did have a question about that, but I can't remember what the answer was. You might have vetoed it.
I'm Armadillo. Let's go with that.
Nice.
Who was the hottest character?
That's a great question. I'm gonna have to think about that.
All right, we'll get back to you.
Sure.
Andy Samberg.
Which one was that again?
The Lynx.
He played the Lynx.
Oh yeah. Furries are fucking obsessing over Pobert Lynx.
Over the lynxes.
Lynxley.
Interesting. Oh yeah.
That's their new thirst trap.
This movie's making like so much money in China.
A bajillion.
Yeah.
Just everywhere, right? Yeah.
But China especially.
Like it's already the number 4 out of 10. And it's probably going to take over Minecraft in the next few weeks.
Wow.
It's still only just come out. It's probably going to have legs. Everyone's going to see it over the holidays and everything.
Yeah.
And then Avatar will come out and Disney's just happy.
You know what I found very, very interesting?
Mm-hmm.
So Zootopia 1 comes out. This might not be like common knowledge among non-furries. But the reason why it was so popular among furries is not just because, there's anthropomorphic animal characters in it. Is because it was one of the first movies ever, especially like popular brand films, that felt like it was pandering to furries in ways where it was like pretty clear there were, at this point, because furries have been around for a long time, what sort of jobs do you think furries get? It's all fucking tech, IT,
Animators.
creative, animation, right?
Yeah.
And so literally, if you're working in an animation studio today, whether it be 2D or 3D or anything, your coworkers are fucking furries, right? And there's it's not an insignificant amount that are furries. And so now where it's like, okay, like the people creating these things are furries. It was clear that in this film, whether or not it was like actual furries on the writing team, like furries were definitely consulted and considered and like pandered to for Zootopia. And there's a huge list of examples, and then, you know, on their fucking Disney social media things, and people being like, "Oh, wear your fursuit to the screening," and stuff like it was like very clearly like a endorse as much as you can without, you know, making it like a weird news thing, I guess.
Do you have verifiable sources?
Yeah. Where it's like the community knows. The community knows, sort of thing.
Okay.
And so that's one of the reasons why like furries absolutely love Zootopia. And I'm like, yeah, lukewarm on it. I just found the first film to be like really like paint by numbers in terms of its story, kind of like predictable, like the whole they're gonna go what did they say? They're gonna go rabid or something like that. That whole
it was like herbivores and carnivores was the main conflict of it, right?
Yeah, it was just kind of like boring for the most part.
Was there not a lot of criticism about it because it was like a racism allegory that was like a very flawed and like not...
It's just, yeah, that's the thing you do with an anthropomorphic animal society plot.
Right.
Anyway, one of the things that was pretty apparent from this, the jump from the first film to the second film, was that the first film, there were so many species that were just like not included whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, furries like to see whatever species they are represented. And so the marketing for this film, you look at like some of the earlier trailers, a lot of them were literally just like, how many headshots of different characters can we fit in within like 10 seconds? And they were literally doing like a one per frame sort of thing where you had to like pause and slow down. Because part of their marketing, they understand that like, okay, who are the people that are going to be talking about our film on social media for free? It's the fucking furries, right? And so they throw in as many like new animal characters as possible, just because they know there'll be furries that like will pause on one and be like, "Oh shit, I love this guy. He's so cute. This one looks weird," or whatever, right? Viable marketing strategy. The reason why this one was such a huge hit, a huge hit, particularly in China. Nobody's talked about this, and this is just my little fucking conspiracy theory, which I believe is 100% true, is that the new species that they focused on in terms of including as main characters, right? We have reptiles. The most prominent reptile in the entire film is a snake, played by Ki Hui Kwan, right?
Right.
Yeah.
New other prominent character, not featured, or species not even featured in the first film. A horse. We got Mayor Horse. Fucking forget his fucking name.
Patrick Warburton.
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah. Those are the two most prominent new main character, like species types that were not featured in the first film. Like, sure, like the lynx, sure, we didn't see a lynx, but it's like we saw felines, right? The Chinese zodiac is currently on the year of the snake, and in February 2026, it is going into the year of the horse. And so this film has been in production for such a long time that they probably included both of these characters, knowing that the release date would be somewhere around this time, and knowing that, like, okay, if it gets delayed or whatever, we're still on the year of the horse. Right? I think that would be crazy to say that that's a coincidence when so much emphasis is put on the Chinese market, especially with family films at this point. Like that has to be true. That has to be true. I would
have to ask a Chinese person, you know.
Sure.
Whether or not Disney did it?
Would this influence whether you see it? if there's a horse or a snake in it, is that going to influence you?
The answer is yes.
That is true, though, bringing up the gap between the first movie. It was, what, like 2016 or something? It's like nearly 10 years between these sequels for some reason. It's not like the first one was a flop or anything. It's surprising considering the sequel machine that it's taken this long. seeing as it has. I'm sure they did.
They both broke records.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's only seemed to gain more like kind of cultural capital in that space. It hasn't really affected its popularity at all. And yeah, it's nice though talking about like the character designs in a Disney movie. It's like, oh yeah, that's kind of like what you used to be known for and good at, was like animation and design and characters and like likable broad family films.
Yeah.
Instead of like, live action Lilo and Stitch and cynical Snow White stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, this is what these films should be. This is what like a family Disney film should be. It's pretty inoffensive, harmless. It's fun. It's got these like fun set pieces, a high like cadence of like action throughout the whole thing. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's pretty self-aware.
Yes, it is.
I liked it. I thought it was like breezy and fun, and I did prefer it a lot actually over the first movie, which I similarly I saw the once, haven't thought about it since. It wasn't very memorable for me, and partially it was because of the like, I don't know, if animals are the characters, I want to see like a variety of different types of animals for like storytelling purposes too, right? And
no horses,
having reptiles in there. Well, yeah, I want to see the whole gambit.
No hoofers.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because in the realm of animation, when you're bringing in reptiles that have like different skeletons and ways of moving, you can do some really fun stuff.
Yeah,
with animation. So when they go like the saloon and everything, and the variety of kind of creepy, weird animation stuff they can do there, and the gags they can get from it, I thought the gags even were like, this is funny. This is almost like the old school Pixar way of doing things, where they set up a world and there's all the sight gags and the concept is like baked into the humor, and it didn't feel insincere. And yeah, there's a charm to it. And I like these two main characters too. It's like I'm always talking about these like detectives, investigation like tropes. I do like that. It's like a story framing, even though it is kind of simple and all it needs to be for like a Disney family movie. I don't know. I like this.
Yeah. I feel like it was like the perfect marriage of a kind of irreverent, like Shrek style, like commenting on like actual pop culture things. Like there's the Godfather references and all that sort of thing, but also like having this self-contained Pixar universe that feels like authentic and there's a bit of heart in there. It's just kind of like design. I don't know, like perfectly designed in a lab to just go down easy and just be kind of an inoffensive, fun family movie. And yeah, like you were saying, Alex, like there's lots of really good action set pieces, like houses on cliffs crashing, tubes, like lots of interesting
drowning,
the fun kind of stuff. Okay, but for real, there is a sequence in this movie that kind of pissed me off at Judy Hopps.
She's toxic.
She's fucked up. Like, I was getting pissed at her. I'm like, okay, yeah, the fox, his issue is that he's a slacker.
Nick Wilde.
Your issue is that you're a psychopath who wants to kill yourself in the name of duty. Like, and you want to kill him. And it's like, you're like jumping into a pipe you're going to drown. And she's like, well, we got to do it.
I'm invincible.
And then she's mad at him. I was pissed. They were very
No apology. No apology. Judy's toxic as fuck.
Yeah, I want to see that developed in the third movie. I'd like, but I guess they're in therapy right now. They're in their workplace mandated therapy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that goes back to the fan service, right? Because that's like one of the memes with the first movie is, the comic and everything.
Abortion.
Yeah, just the fan service, like relationship stuff.
Which I didn't even know about. I didn't even know about until people were commenting on my video of my review.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
They were like, wow, the abortion plot was really like hard to... I was like, whoa, what? Did I watch the wrong movie?
But like, yeah, with the like therapy scene with them, especially being framed in that first trailer, is like, whoa, are they like together now? And then the whole like them showing up with a pram with a baby in it. And it's like, exactly what you're doing, Disney.
Yeah,
exactly. They know they're giving little treats for their audience.
Yes.
As much as they can. I thought that the set pieces and like environments and just variety of what was shown visually was just so much better realized in this film. Because the first film just kind of did feel like, stereotypical, boring, procedural mystery where they're like, who did the thing? And then there's a twist, and like they're going through a lot of like similar familiar beats, but also like locations. Like, oh yeah, okay, we got the mob boss thing and and it's, I don't know. this film felt a lot more varied, and it felt more like an action adventure where they're actually going somewhere. They're actually discovering new places and new things, and the pacing just kept things going in a very fun, energetic way that just, way better than the first, in my opinion. Just my experience was much more positive.
I like the first one a little more, I think, just because like the character arcs are kind of similar in the second one. I mean, it's different enough, but it's still like you have characters go on an emotional arc, and then you kind of got to figure out a way to fuck it up in the sequel to get them to evolve in a new way. I don't know. I'd say they're both like just as enjoyable to me, but it's been a while since I've seen the first one.
But the Zebros
was good. Yeah. I like that.
So what animal are they going to pick next to like bring into the mix for Zootopia 3?
Birds. Avians. That was what was teased at the end.
Oh, okay.
That's why the feather fell.
Yeah. Oh, right.
I think it was like a post-credits or something. Did you say?
Okay, no, I never really stay for these end credits things. I just clear off.
Definitely birds.
Definitely
birds. 1,000%.
They should do like insects. I could get dark. Because like these guys are eating something. Like fish and insects, like revolting, rising up.
I wonder if they'll address that.
What actor is going to voice the bird, the main bird?
Michael Keaton.
Nice.
Yeah, that's not a bad choice. Alex, do you have a Patrick Warburton voice that you have?
No, that's one I can't do.
Hey, Peter.
There you go. I just associate it with that fucking YouTube channel, the Yo Mama, even though it's not Patrick Warburton.
Oh yeah, they sound the same.
Impression of it.
Hey, Peter.
So
that's just scary. Yes. Don't do that. Oh my god.
Was it uncanny?
No, it sounds like you're trying to like chase someone down a dark alley.
No, you know what? So they released the obviously like the character headshot images before we saw any of their screen presence or voice acting or anything. And people were obviously like, oh, look, there's a horse. And I was kind of like, whatever. Because he looked like a fucking Fabio, piece of shit. Kind of like dude bro. Like, oh, I'm obsessed with my looks. I'm majestic or whatever. That's the impression I got from just that still frame. The way that his character is in the film, like he won me over for sure. Like I love that there was like more of a silliness to it. I love that he was like a goofy character, and Patrick Warburton's performance really worked well for the character.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was great. Also, I love the hoof hands. I like that they didn't commit to having opposable fingers. Although you would almost expect them to like have some sort of scene where they're having difficulty doing something with
trying
hands.
To pick something up. Yeah,
like trying to I don't know, type.
Oh, something that annoyed me, the sloth came back, of course. He returned for a little cameo. How is he driving that car so fast?
Well, you see, they cut before any of the fast motions happen.
No, they cheated. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Correct.
How is he turning the wheel so fast? How is he pushing the pedals?
I agree.
It's a major flaw in this film.
I preferred that joke than the sloth joke in the original. That was like the whole marketing thing was the sloth.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
I'm actually very happy and relieved that they didn't just indulge in the exact same fucking joke again.
True, he was barely in it.
Yeah. I like that it was used differently, and it wasn't just the same like, oh, we're at the DMV, oh, things are slow, like, because rewatching even the first film, it's just kind of like, who cares? Like, it is a slow scene. I get it, but like, I understand that they would have been very tempted to do that. So I think the balance worked well.
The same with the goats, doing Thor Love and Thunder recently, and the obvious, the internet screaming goat bullshit. They resist the urge to do that as well with the goat characters. I thought that was like, wow.
Yeah.
Got some restraint, guys.
They have avoided a lot of like very bad directions. Like there were so many missteps they could have made in the sequel, and then they avoided them was very, that's a good sign.
It was a really good, well-balanced movie when it came to like the humor. They didn't stay on any particular thing for too long. There were jokes that were legitimately funny to me. The Shining reference was fucking pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good one. There's some good sight gags.
Yeah. There's like a lot going on. Like there's legitimately funny gags, and there's a lot of them. I like when the mayor just does the press conference, and he's like, "Chief Bogo is dead."
Yeah.
Like, even though it's like I didn't believe that was happening, I could see that the joke was. I like that they just wound up doing that.
Well, they'll just be if you're paying attention, it just rewards you. Like when in that chase scene where they go through burning animal instead of burning man, and just
burning mammal.
Mammal, yeah, it's just silly, man. I do have an animal critique though. If we're in those kind of lines, I think it's nuts. It's insane, right? For the story to be based around snakes. And there being so many mammal characters that there's not a single mongoose character. What are they doing? Their whole thing is like hunting snakes. Come on, guys. Not a single mongoose? Got to get on that.
Wait, was the guy voiced by is it Alan Tudyk? There is a mongoose character, but he was already
mongoose.
Is he not?
Yeah, it's kind of. I don't know. It could be like a ferret. It could. Yeah, it might be though.
I'm going to look it up.
In which case, they should have made him a bigger part. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, he had like a little side thing. There isn't a central mongoose in Zootopia. What the hell was? He might have been a ferret.
Yeah, because he was in the first movie, right?
And in the Disney Plus spin-off.
Oh, that classic.
Which was not great.
The music too, actually. Giacchino, like in one of the action scenes, I was like, why is this reminding me of The Incredibles? And then, in the credits. Okay, cool. Yep.
Oh, he's a weasel.
Oh, weasel. Yeah, that makes sense. So no mongoose.
Weasels would eat a snake, right?
I don't know, but I just know a mongoose is like specifically evolved to have like, this is so dorky, they're like immune to snake venom.
Nice.
They've like evolved to hunt snakes. So I just thought, come on, man. You got like the pig cops. Maybe one of those two pig cops should have been a mongoose. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like Alan Tudyk, if he was in the movie at all, he should have played a shark. Or a snake. Or is that just fan fiction? I made a joke that you will not understand, but that's fine.
Yeah, I don't.
It's in the name. It's in the name.
Didn't catch that one.
Yeah. No, yeah, it worked really well. I don't think that the twist villain aspect was necessary. They didn't need to do it, but I'm glad that they did it in kind of like a self-aware enough way.
Yeah. It surprised me.
I liked it more than the twist in the first movie, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that they did it twice in a row, because now it feels like they have to commit to doing that again on the third one, or at least acknowledge it. Like, if it doesn't happen, like, do a fake out where you think it's happening and then it didn't happen. Like, now they're committing.
Yeah, give them another 9 years and maybe we'll see Zootropolis 3.
Legit, why is everything taking so long to get produced? I mean, I feel like with TV series, each season takes like 5 years, and even movie sequels, like it just takes so long to get things off the ground, it seems like.
I don't know.
Is it just the industry slowing down, and it's just like, I don't know.
Everything's in flux, yeah. I don't know. Everything just seems like it's changing like every day as far as like a business, and you can't really bank on the future. So
True.
I mean, they did. They timed it with the Zodiac calendar. They definitely did that.
But I don't know. Yeah, I think it offsets the like Snow White timing.
Yeah, they should have had more horse puns. I don't think they had a horse pun. Here's some easy ones. They could have said neighborhood at some point.
Okay, you're setting up. You have a list. Okay.
Oh yeah, they did. You know, they did say he does say nay as like nay as in no, but he says nay like the nay sound.
Okay,
which was fun. Here's an easy one that they could have done. So he's the mayor. That word sounds a lot like mayor, right? So that could have been a joke.
Okay.
They could have incorporated that. Whenever I hear the word mayor, I think mayor.
Okay, I think you're allowed to have 60 more seconds on this topic.
Okay, well, 7 out of 10. I think it was pretty good. Yeah, it was a nice sequel.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 as well.
Yeah, it was nice. I'm slightly below that. Like a strong 3-star out of 5. It's good. I didn't love how it kind of wrapped up the the main two characters' like tension, the way that's relieved with this kind of therapy dump conclusion. I was like, okay,
yeah,
like
true.
It was kind of funny.
It was kind of funny, but I mean, for it to be elevated more than my rating, I'd need a bit more of like an emotional core to it outside of the breezy kind of fun of just the colors and motion of it. And I love that snake character. I think that's like the heart of it for me.
He's great.
Made me fall for it.
Yeah.
Alex, who was the newscaster character in your localized version? Because they're different in regions. Jake and I have the same one for North America.
I believe it was a moose.
Yours had a moose too? You got Peter Moosebridge?
I think it might be. I believe so.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I think it was a moose.
Who's
it supposed to be?
Was that the same? I thought it was localized. It would be different. I heard that in the first movie it was localized differently. Was that the same character in the first movie for you too? Peter Moosebridge?
It was nearly 10 years ago. I do not remember that character.
I swear there was like a flashback at like the beginning of the movie though.
Oh man, I don't remember.
Anyway, Peter Moosebridge is voiced by Canadian famous news anchor Peter Mansbridge, who I think is retired at this point, but he did stuff for like CBC. And that would be, the Canadian and American version. And apparently they have different news anchors depending on region. There's like an Aussie one. But
like a koala, or that's funny.
Yeah. Like different little cameos or whatever.
Well, you see, the UK has no animals like independent to itself because we've like kind of murdered all the interesting ones. There's like nothing left.
All right, train dreams.
What were you going with on that first reading?
Nothing.
Okay.
I misspoke.
Mm-hmm. So you guys like this movie, I hear.
I actually do, yeah.
Okay.
I kind of really loved it. Yeah.
Cool.
I was big into this. Where did this come from? I feel like it just came out of nowhere. I haven't seen anything from this director before. It's just been dropped on Netflix. It's really connecting with people.
Well, it's based off of a novella.
Yeah.
By a guy who I don't know much about, but Connor Oberst considered him to be like one of his favorite writers, and I like Connor Oberst. So
Dennis Johnson.
Sorry, who is he, Jake? You know more?
Yeah, I haven't read any of his stuff. Dennis Johnson, though. That's his name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice little meditative vibes, scenery, sounds type film. Very low stakes in terms of like what it's offering narratively, but I feel like there's space for those types of movies, and it's nice. Yeah, it's nice to see one. I thought it was good at what it set out to do.
Really, expound on the low stakes thing, because I found it to be kind of the inverse as far as like the tapestry of someone's entire life condensed into a minute's 40 during a time period where so much is changing. It felt kind of like, they've managed to actually encapsulate this very kind of high stakes, like family situation and survival, and without, mustache twirling villains and kind of stereotypes of some of the stories from this time. It felt like very organic and reeled back and kind of realistic and meditative as a result.
That's what I mean in terms of it being like reeled back.
Right. Yeah. No, that's exactly what I loved about it. Can obviously attribute a lot to like Malick and that kind of quieter, naturalistic style. But I think it carved out its own voice. I was very attached to this main character and the dreamy structure of it. Yeah, like showing this entire time period without it feeling clunky, and it flowed really well. I thought the editing was good with the way it was using this, what is normally a bit of a nitpick for me when there's ongoing references using shots from earlier in the movie to kind of like keep you up or catch you up or remind you of something that happened. I find that to be kind of an annoying trope, but I felt like the way that was built into the structure of this film, with these dreams he's having being baked into the kind of movement and cadence of like the way the character was aging and changing, and it felt like time was slipping through his fingers. So it gave it like a really unique feel to me, and it felt kind of like unpredictable, and it just felt like life, and that experience of the more of it you feel, the quicker it goes, and these people just kind of fade in and out, and they leave these impacts and shards on you, and it's all over the place and unpredictable emotionally. And I found it very satisfying, and the depths it would go and the highs it would go to, especially with that ending. I loved that ending. I found it quite poignant and meaningful.
Why'd you hate it, Jake?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, I I found there was a lot that I liked about it. I did like some of the cinematography, and I thought that Joel Edgerton was good in this. But yeah, I just felt that it was kind of like a treacly, sentimental kind of homage to Malick, who I love Malick, but this just felt like there was nothing there to like chew on. It felt very kind of it just didn't connect with me emotionally at all. I was bored. I really just didn't connect with this character or this environment. It felt like a kind of whitewashing of this time in history to kind of be more palatable to like our modern sensibilities and give us an idea of like this romantic view of these older times, even though it does show like obviously some of the harder truths of that. Like for instance, and I haven't read the novel, but from what I understand, I did read the beginning of it. Oh, actually, I'll save this for spoilers. We can talk about this in a bit. But
yes.
Yeah, just overall, I found it just unmoving, and it didn't hit with me, and I don't know necessarily what it is. I mean, I think there's a kind of like earnest, like longing towards like a spiritual catharsis, especially in like the final moments of this, and like seeking and dealing with grief and stuff. And I just found it to be not very compelling in that aspect. Like it did remind me of some of Malick isms, and like every scene is with a beautiful sunset in the background, and it just felt like very kind of phony. I don't know. I just didn't buy into it, and the ending sequence with like the little montage of the beauty and the wonder, and maybe I'm getting more cold-hearted as I get older, but I don't know. I just didn't buy into it. And yeah,
that's interesting. You describe it as sort of like a whitewashing of the period, where for me, what kind of got me into it was how it felt like a kind of a genuine, convincing period piece, and that it was selling the kind of lonely, isolated nature of it, and that's what kind of made it perilous and interesting to watch for me. Was it felt like this is cold, this is a brutal, uncaring world that's being presented, and doesn't really feel like it's romanticizing it, particularly to me. It was almost the complete inverse, actually.
Oh wow!
Like, yeah, and going back to where I think what the film is overall saying about like kind of rapid expansion and this idea of industrialization and what was going on with steel and trains and how quickly things have moved, especially in the last couple hundred years. I thought that kind of sense of perspective that it ends on, that bullet point it ends on, was like very, very effective, and gave it a nice strong spine for the beauty of the cinematography to kind of be anchored around.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in between.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I really actually went in wanting to like it. I heard very good things, and I've heard it compared to Malick in some ways, and I even like I love Song to Song. Like that's a Malick movie I really enjoy, and Knight of Cups, and like later period like kind of wandering, rambling kind of thing, but
experimental.
Yeah, and like this had some beautiful moments, but it never felt like specific enough in a way where I'm like, this is a person who feels like a real person, rather than, I guess, an avatar for the audience to admire a period of history and kind of like feel the romanticism of a period that is gone and won't come back, and a kind of a longing for that. And I guess I prefer to look at that period in history with I don't know, like a sense of kind of like things were very like brutal, and like I don't know. It's hard for me to articulate it, I guess, and I have more thoughts I need to process. But yeah, it just didn't connect with me.
I think it can be both. To me, it's a film that doesn't like completely ignore, the hardships, but still manages to find, beauty and tranquility and peace within it. So that's kind of why I feel like I'm halfway. Is I do feel like it acknowledges both, but like for the sake of its artistic and emotional, stylistic goals, like it is definitely much more of a dreamy, peaceful experience, and one that is like a montage. I'll agree that the ending montage did feel fucking kind of cheesy and phony for me. Like, to me, it just the emotions did feel a little like oh yeah, we're making it end now, sort of thing.
Yeah, and the narration did a lot to also like turn me against the film because it felt very like, I don't know, pat and oversimplified and a bit sentimental. Yeah.
So yeah, I've seen a few complaints about the narrator, but I kind of like the texture it added with this idea of things being out of time and the just giving these little details to these characters that you'd never get otherwise without the narrator being like, yeah, he died of a heart condition that 30 years later was like, the cure was discovered for it. And there is this kind of deep sadness to it. And they were like a victim of circumstance because of like where they are and how they are forced to live because of the environment. And that's what really got me in emotionally early on, especially, was this sadness, which is emphasized by the structure of these big time jumps of this main character having to leave his little girl. And every time he comes back, it's like a different person because he's away for so long.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like quite emotionally affecting from the jump off, let alone where it kind of goes throughout the story. So yeah, I found it kind of edge of your seat stuff as far as stakes are concerned.
Yeah, I don't have like too much to complain about for this movie or to like be wowed over. I think that, you know, in terms of how it presents itself, it is up my alley in terms of the vibe and the visuals and the sound design. Like, very, very few complaints with that.
Yeah.
I do see the similarities to Terrence Malick, but yeah, I definitely see them as different things because this one's just, you know, a lot more narratively straightforward, particularly than Terrence Malick's recent films. And, you know, even the camera work doesn't go like nearly as crazy as even Terrence Malick's most narratively straightforward films. It is just something that, you know, kind of gets you to experience and feel the environment in a very sensory way. So in that sense, like, yeah, there's similarities, but like, yeah, very, very, very different films with very different goals too. And what's interesting is this director made a film called Jockey before this, which I don't remember too much about. I was kind of like not really into it, but it was not it was not like this in style. So I kind of like that he's experimenting and doing something very tonally different between projects. I do appreciate that aspect.
Yeah, I just I wish I liked it more. I wish there was more like specifically about like this guy. It did just kind of feel like he was a like an avatar for the audience, and I wish like I could. I just wish that I knew like what the movie's really trying to say. It just kind of felt like, I guess, quote unquote, like a tone poem, and like a meditation on, you know, life and what does it all mean. And I think it really wants to get to some kind of catharsis, and it, I think, very self-consciously is trying to be like, we're getting there. There's this feeling, this break, especially towards the end of the film, where it's like it's all building up to this, and I feel like it's reaching for something and not really grabbing it. And I guess I admire like the intention behind that and wanting to reach for that, but I feel like it fails there.
Yeah, I felt like it didn't have extremely strong, like, specific you know, narrative goals in some senses. But I do like that. I do like the held back and reserved nature. So yeah, I guess what it's trying to be, I think that it did a good job at being that, just with some minor criticisms.
I like William H. Macy.
Yeah, there were a lot of nice side characters that just kind of showed up and disappeared, and got to see like glimpses of their lives, and they all felt, you know, real and developed and interesting. Like all of these side characters that we don't spend much time with. They don't feel like unnecessary, you know, terribly presented characters or anything.
Is it okay if I talk about a quick spoiler about the beginning of the film?
Sure. I don't know if this is a movie you can spoil too much, but go for
exactly.
it. And we'll wrap this up quick too, because we got another huge movie to talk about. So
sure. Yeah. Like an example of the difference, I guess, in tone between this and the book. And again, I haven't read the book, just the beginning, but there's an opening early scene in the book where there's a Chinese worker on the railroad who is accused of something and he's thrown off a bridge. And in the movie, our lead character, our guy, he just kind of passively watches it happen. And this kind of haunts him, this guilt that he didn't do anything. In the book, he is actively participating in that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it definitely gives a better insight into like, he's part of history. He's engaged in this. He's not like an empty kind of guy, just kind of like observing what's going on, like a Forrest Gump character. He's there, and the guy they try throwing off the bridge, he doesn't die. He like escapes. He like clings onto the bridge and flees. And so apparently for the rest of the book, he's kind of haunted by like, what if he comes back and tries to kill me?
Wow.
Oh, okay.
So it's a very different vibe. Yeah.
That helps me understand your whitewashing comment a lot more, because that does feel like that was probably left out because that would just be too challenging for like the average fucking
just make him look like shit
Netflix watcher to be able to grapple with like, wait, this is a good guy. I'm supposed to like this guy. Or is that that would be more interesting for sure.
I think maybe it also like appeals to this idea of like, especially we're living through history ourselves, and it's like how morally culpable are we in crimes being committed, and how it's just I might have half-baked thoughts on this, but I think it changes significantly like how you are interpreting this and like what it's saying about our lives, our responsibilities, how we choose to see ourselves as participating in the world, So I don't know.
But yeah, it also got me thinking about like my own life, the idea of progress and what's our equivalent of getting in a plane and experience something so just out of your world.
Very conventional.
This character, the world he was born into, and for him to like live that time and the progress that he lived through and that change is quite extraordinary. Mm-hmm. So that visual of him, this character, everything he's been through, the torment and the hell that he was born into and experienced, to then have these ideas of space and flying, it's like symbolically very powerful and very freeing, and thought-provoking. Because what is our equivalent plane thing going to be? It's going to be something even crazier, probably.
I love learning about this like period in history though, because
I love it.
It is like so wild to think of like there's this anecdote I read, I think it was in like about the building of the Brooklyn Bridge, and there's this little girl who was like, when she was an old woman, some reporter asked her like, what was it like seeing men on the moon in 1969? What was that like? And she's like, this was nothing compared to when they built the Brooklyn Bridge. Like I was there when that opened. That was insane. That was like going to outer space, for her. So just like that idea of progress, like how fast like things are moving. It's just hard to even fathom. Yeah.
And that kind of lack of law and order, the lawlessness of this time. I really like that scene where a lot of the drama between Joel Edgerton and his wife is just trying to figure out how they can spend more time together. Mm-hmm. So she suggests at one point, why don't I just come with you and like live on, the camp? And he's like, it's too dangerous. Like it's fucked out there.
So that also feels to me like a very modern sensibility. Like I don't know if I'm projecting there, but it did seem like they had like a very modern type of lifestyle and idea about being together. And it's like their kind of relationship felt very modern. And I don't know. I just feel like people of that era would have a different. I feel like the filmmakers were kind of projecting our modern moral views onto that time period a little bit.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
I think that happens a lot with a lot of things.
I'm sure, yeah.
Well, I guess, the sentimentality you're getting at just wound up working better for me. I am a sucker for these vibey movies, these slower kind of thought-provoking things.
Perfect Days.
Yeah, I love Perfect Days.
And it's beautiful. I mean, the images are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just like sitting in it and thinking about it, and it worked really well for me. And going back to the kid, I thought the kid acting was actually really good and convincing, the way it was shot. I wasn't brought out of the film from this like little kid actor. I thought that was really well done.
Mm-hmm. Adam, did you hate the kid?
I'd have to go back to my notes and I would have to find them. I don't remember. If I didn't say anything about the kid in my TIFF review, then I didn't have anything to say.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm slightly above this, like a 4-star. Happily watch it again. Love that brevity of it. Felt a lot of meaning from it.
5 out of 10 for now.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
All right. What's next?
Time to get castrated.
Oh, hell yeah.
Castration movie. Anthology 1. Traps. Although the title is like recently changed.
Yeah, is that still the name? It's like something else now.
Yeah, what is it called? Because the version I saw wasn't called Traps. It was called...
No, yeah. Let's see if I can... The other title is more of a mouthful. I kind of like Traps as a better title. But, maybe I'll... I think wait, let's see. Letterboxd, maybe we'll have it. Letterboxd.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I've got it downloaded.
It was The Fear of Having No One to Hold at the End of the World.
That's it.
And this is worse. That is a worse title in my opinion because it's too long.
Yeah. No, I understand what it's saying with the second title, but we don't want it to be as much of a mouthful. I think the name and word Traps also helps to sell it in terms of like, it's kind of like edgier sensibilities as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And like that does tie into the 4chan culture thing too.
True. I do just like the title of Castration movie and like the posters with the graffiti and everything. It's like that's a cool title. There's something attention grabby and
exactly
cool about that kind of branding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, there was something that beckoned me to this film. Somebody posted about it on my subreddit a while back.
Yeah, is that how you found it?
Yeah, somebody posted on my subreddit, and I'll add things to my list or whatever. But I go to the IMDb page, and I'm like, okay, first of all, title, crazy title. Runtime, crazy runtime.
Volume 1.
Yeah.
And then like the description, trans sex worker Michaela mentors her newly out friend Adeline while pursuing motherhood in Vancouver. Right? And so it's just like, okay, we got trans, we got Vancouver, we got fucking bold choices and just like obvious confidence about what it is. And then you watch the trailer, I'm like, okay, this thing looks like a fucking home video. Like, okay, what is this? It's got like good user ratings. It didn't have that many, especially at the time. And so yeah, I was like, okay, something is beckoning me to check this out now rather than having it stay on my watch list for fucking forever. Because it seems like it would be something, at the very least, I would find it interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I wound up loving it. It's I've seen it, I guess, 2.5 times.
Wow.
And I just saw the sequel actually a couple nights ago.
Oh, I'm interested to hear about that. I guess we can talk about that after we talk about the first part.
Yeah, let me know. What did you think of Castration movie Anthology 1 Traps?
Alex, go ahead.
Sure. I'm still breaking this down.
Okay.
Honestly. I watched this yesterday in one chunk, which
nice.
I don't know. I would have preferred to have actually broken it up. I wish I had broken it up.
Well, you didn't.
Because I don't know. There's a 4.5 hour runtime here, which is the biggest how's this going to flow type thing. And I think it is my biggest issue with the movie is I don't understand the runtime being that long. But in saying that, there is something unique and great in here with like a level of like awkwardness that I can't believe it's not British. What some of these scenes are able to get, some of these arguments, this like feeling, this overbearing kind of anxiety to a lot of it. It's really effective, especially for that minuscule micro budget that it was made for, because that's obviously one of the biggest fears is like the lower the budget goes, the acting quality, the sound quality, that's really some of the biggest things that can hold something down. But it uses these things in its strength, I found, for the most part, often carried by really good dialogue and performances a lot of the time. So I don't know, I feel like a kind of mixed experience with the structure of it, there being kind of 3 parts to this, I really loved the first one and felt like it was kind of losing some momentum as it was moving around, and it was like big and ambitious and messy. But I feel like there needed a bit more editing in here to focus this a little bit, even though maybe that broadness is what makes it what it is. I'm still trying to figure that out, and how it fits into part 2 and 3, this being this enormous, probably going to be like 14 hours long in the end, like story, whatever it turns out to be. Those are my general kind of top level thoughts. An extremely hard sell as well, as far as like explaining it to somebody and like getting the movie out there and the concepts out there. But the people that are seeing it, it's really connecting with, I think. Yeah, what about you, Jake?
I was really into this. I really thought this was... I didn't really know what to expect going in, but it really captivated me from like scene to scene because of the sense of authenticity. Like it just felt so authentic.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you're really getting a sincere look at a culture and group of people who are living this and know it so well. And it isn't like trying to perform for an out group or something. Like it felt very much like this is art about them, for them. And that was like so, seeing the trans experience in this way it's really unique. And so it just holds no bar. Like it's really very sincere and funny and deeply uncomfortable in a lot of it. That being said, it is like a test. It was a test of my patience for it being as long as it is. And like, there is so much that's like, holy shit. Like this is so long. Like some shots are just so long and so drawn out. And I'm like, fuck. Okay. Like I had to take it in chunks, and because I was getting sleepy, I was like, but that's just me with any movie. Like it is hard for me to just stay awake these days, but
except Avatar.
I mean,
it's so stimulating.
Because if this was in 3D, then maybe it'd be different. But, this movie is very like transgressive and very like there's stuff in this I've never seen in any other movie, and for that alone, I'm like, I have to like appreciate it. There's like bodily fluids, and I don't know what I can say on YouTube, with
say it.
Content stuff,
say
but
pink flamingos kind of stuff.
I think like I'm just like impressed about how it came through. Like these people who like are like, there's like, are they improvising? Like, I don't know. Like, I want to know more about how this was made. Like, how much was improvised and riffed, and how much was planned and premeditated, and like some of the choices and the structural choices, like the fact that the whole first bunch of this movie is like this guy just going on this doom spiral and like destroying his life, and then it becomes about all these other characters for the rest of the movie. And like the dynamics are so interesting, and I was just like so immersed in this world in a way like I didn't expect. And even though like it was a struggle sometimes to be like, fuck, I'm just like, my patience is like going elsewhere. I'm getting kind of tired. It's like when a scene would like kick up a notch, and they're like arguing about, why didn't you read Dune? Like, why, like, why, like that moment. And just like, why are you like, why don't you want to wear the dress I want you to wear? Like, I know better than you because I've been trans longer than you. It's like, you need to listen to me. Like, these are things like I haven't thought about, and seeing it, depicted on screen, it just felt like shit. Like, this feels so real and authentic. It was so interesting. So I'm very happy you recommended this, Adam.
Good. I
had a really good time. Yeah, this was great.
Yeah, honestly, like the way I feel about this movie. So the second time I watched it all in one chunk, and I found it to be like pretty easy to get through. Like maybe some points in the second half where I was like, okay, a little slow. But yeah, I mean, like, it's a 4.5 hour long movie that to me felt much quicker than like Thor: Love and Thunder, or like any number of
okay.
Like really, no, I'm literally not even kidding.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
sure.
It's a crazy ambitious project that, now that I've seen a few times for sure, I do very much get like the thematic purpose in terms of the choices to make things in that way. Or at least I have my own interpretations. And yeah, like it's a type of film that is not shy of its own limitations, but instead uses them as, as its selling point.
Exactly.
It knows exactly what it is. It shoves it in your face. And I just, the fact that there is enough of a culture behind this film, people are excited for it. People are excited for the new ones to come out. And who knows the extent of how popular it will be over time. I think it's already, what we could consider to be like a cult film sort of thing.
Yeah.
She's like in the UK right now touring part 2. I think it's super fucking cool that there's a good chunk of people that are excited for a type of art project that is unlike any other that has existed, right? I want to see new things. This is a new thing. And it's not just a new thing. It's a new thing with purpose. It's a new thing that knows why it's doing new things. It's providing not just perspectives, but experiences that, you're right, are incredibly authentic. And, when we think about trans representation in media in any sense, there's absolutely nothing like this that showcases and doesn't shy away from things like surgery and like aftercare for said surgery and like these thoughts that
the fear leading up to it and everything like that.
Yeah, the fears and anxieties and concerns leading up to it, the thoughts in these characters' heads about like their own psyche, their own introspections kind of put on display in varying different degrees and varying different ways. The fact that these characters, just despite being trans in a film, there's no concern over how these characters are portrayed from a moral standpoint. They don't have to be, perfect angel goody two-shoe people, and they don't have to be villains, they can be complex, flawed people and just exist in ways where you're right, Jake. It's not concerning itself with audience members outside of its own demographic, and that's how it's able to be so unashamed and unafraid of what it is.
Yeah, like that's what I really appreciated about it. And it reminded me in some ways, and this is like unfair to be like, oh, this other trans thing that I am aware of, but it did remind me of the book Detransition Baby. I don't know if you guys have, it was like a literary sensation a few years ago. But, the author, Tori Peters, talked about how she wanted to write a book, about trans people for trans people that wasn't like concerned again with like the outside world. And it's like, from what I've seen, it seems like any depiction of trans people in media and film and the history of film, it's like either horrible, just abominable, or like so like whitewashed and simplified and like, target version, that's like, you can't talk about the, like, they're not even real people, just symbols of people, and getting to see something like this, that is very much, it's also very Vancouver. Like, it's very clearly about these people in specific, like, I think anything that makes art, like, art is so much better when you're looking at the specifics, and like the specific details, and the little details in this is what makes it so unique. And I was doing research and seeing that there was criticism of this because there's no people of color in this really, and that's an interesting thing, but it's also like a very Vancouver perspective. And from what I understand,
Yeah.
you know, Louise was making this with her friends and, you know, with limited funds. You know, so it's like interesting to see what could come about, you know, from this filmmaker. And I really want to see more from her.
Yeah, there wasn't exactly much of like a casting call.
That's what it seemed like to me.
Or like a production, even.
Right.
You know,
right. Which is shocking for how good these performances are.
Yeah.
For a lot of these arguments and stuff. It was like almost like a This Is England for some of these like arguments and stuff like that. It was like, nice. This is a really realistic and, as you guys are saying, sincere. Which even beyond the like core of the trans experience, I found the integration of like 4chan and the internet stuff to be quite artfully done, because that could be its own, like, if that was done the wrong way, that could be super like cringy or embarrassing.
Well, and also that's a lot of ways like universal, not just to trans people, but like this version, this side of the internet that is just like self-hatred, pure self-hatred, you know, relatable.
And like being radicalized and being pushed in certain directions from, what you're looking at and what you're obsessed with online. And it's hard to take that like 4chan energy and what it represents and do that honestly and apply it to characters that feel real and don't feel like a caricature, you know, the hacker known as 4chan type, just over the top bullshit.
Of course.
Yeah, I really like that element of it.
Yeah, like things that can only come from like being a part of an experience. Like you're not like someone's fucking grandpa trying to teach kids about the dangers of the internet sort of thing.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh yeah, this thing, like this is we're just going to include it.
Yeah. There were moments in this movie that made me so upset, like so completely sad. Like specific moment. I don't know. Are we getting into spoilers?
Sure, we can spoil it. Everybody watch it. It's great.
Yeah.
And also, not only watch it, it's fucking like $3 on Gumroad for both movies.
Yeah.
Castration movie, Gumroad. Search it. It's so cheap.
Yeah. So Louise's character, I forget what her character's name is.
Michaela. And also Traps, depending on
right.
Nickname Traps.
Right, yeah.
So her relationship to her boyfriend, you know, throughout this movie is so painful. And it's like, her character is so like fleshed out, so well realized that even though it becomes aimless and kind of directionless, like from the get-go, you're like, oh, she's kind of a bully. Like she's not like a nice person. Like she's kind of the life of the party, but so deeply flawed, you know, kind of like telling her friend like, oh, just what was it called? Transmaxing? You just need to transmax. It's like so funny. And she's like, no, you have to do this. And he's like, I don't want to want to do this.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. No. And
we're having fun.
And so like you see this side of her where she's like this energetic force, like this force of nature. And I love characters like that. I like watching or like reading about characters that are like a force of nature in themselves. But, you know, deep down, like she's like, has that, like, again, like browsing 4chan at the end of the day. And her relationship to her boyfriend, like at the end when she gets on her knees and begs him, this guy who's basically like treats her like dirt and is like, I just one more night, just hold me. You know, like it is so devastating. It's so sad to watch that. But it just felt brutally like honest. It was kind of incredible.
But nicely balanced against that humor.
Yeah.
Super dark humor and very, I don't know if you guys have seen Peep Show, the British, like one of the best
Not
sitcoms
yet.
ever.
No.
It's, on a level of like awkwardness and like a, you know, intentional cringeworthy kind of like setups like a sitcom. Like some of these scenes are so unbelievably awkward. You know, you mentioned the Dune argument and the Traps character just getting trapped in this fucking situation where they don't want to be there. They got to get to work. And it's like all these kind of awkwardly relatable sitcom moments that feel organic in the way they just kind of manifest with these different scenes of them interacting. And especially, I keep going back to that first 90 minutes, but the character dynamics there I really loved with this kind of relationship with boyfriend and girlfriend falling apart and having these awkward interactions with each other and it just kind of escalating and the whole pitch of it being the incel Superman and it opening on this Superman speech, this like really long speech and it just being kind of gut punch with it. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? And just developing this incel-y guy and his after he breaks up and he starts like shadow boxing and writing poetry and stuff, and there's just something so fascinating about this dude. And some of his quotes, I'm the great machine, you're the little machine, and him like crashing out and everything. It's like, I found that to be a fascinating character to watch, where I was kind of disappointed that it did change focus to such a degree, and I hope there's more on that character in the second and third parts, maybe.
Yeah.
None of these characters are in part 2, but there are characters returning for part 3.
Okay, I'm extra curious then. So is there a thematic through line for this? Like do you see like more of a shape to it after seeing part 2?
I mean, depending on your interpretation. Like people have made connections, but I mean, like, they're all independently, like, as their own projects for sure. They're all independently purposeful, and yeah, I would say that there are ways in which there are through lines thematically. Just, I'm gonna continue watching to see them develop for sure.
Can I read my interpretation of that whole beginning section?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's like kind of like a prologue, or just like a thematic prologue to this world and environment, where it's like this guy is like deeply repressing. Like, I think that guy is trans. That person is trans and is repressing, but is like not even aware of it. And I think that whole sequence is trying to like show that pain and like kind of ground it there before you get to more of like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I feel like it's kind of important for setting up the tone of the thing. Even though I would have liked to see more like narratively what happens to this person.
Yeah.
I feel like this person is like, could be lots of other characters in this movie if they hadn't transitioned or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. There is definitely like a common through line of like self-hatred for sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Which is, a big problem, especially in queer communities.
Mm-hmm.
It's a struggle that not everybody has to go through. Yeah, one thing that I came to terms with on my second watch was, the fact that Michaela, she's going through her own transition, but doing it in a way that's entirely outside of the system.
Right.
Where she didn't have to like wait for doctors. She's like getting these estrogen injections like online and
from Ukraine, right?
Like or like through a friend. I forget exactly how, but like not through the proper medical system, without any doctor approval and wait time and all that. And I think that thematically ties into how the film is made, in the sense that, like, there's some people where to do something that's important to them, like, you can't wait for everything to be lined up and have everything in the right place. There's some people where it's just going to be like, fuck it, I'm doing it, and we're going to accept all of the risks and drawbacks of doing it in this way without, the proper channels. And that's what this movie is just like, yeah, the entire film is DIY. The entire filmmaking experience, the music even, it's all just, hey, we're doing it, and we're doing it outside of the system, and we're doing it our own way. That's the experience of a lot of queer people, even not considering, the transitioning or like getting estrogen and doing your own injections, even not considering that, like, queer spaces are all products of queer people carving out those spaces and doing things themselves. Like the whole furry community, conventions, and, like the types of environments that we create are ones that we decided are good for ourselves and nurture the things that we like and are free from the things we don't like outside of those spaces, right? Like every queer community has those things. And so, yeah, in that sense, it does speak to a very kind of universal sentiment among people that don't exactly feel like they fit in with the rest of things.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I mean, I like how every person, every character in this movie is going through things uniquely and differently. Like, there's no just like one narrative of this is like you transition and this is what you do, blah blah blah. Like you said, like some of them are getting drugs through a friend or going through the medical system, etc. So like it was just so varied and a lot of different like insights there. And I watched an interview on YouTube after watching this it was an interview with Louise, and she said something that was like, at the end of it, it's like you need to have like self-love is like the key to doing anything positive in the world. Like if you don't have that even finding a little bit of self-love, that's like the key. And I feel like this movie is about that, is like finding self-love and how do you navigate that. And I also think it's about like, the idea of transitioning and these characters transitioning. That is not like, you're still a flawed person. You still have these problems. Mm-hmm. Like you just don't see that in media in the same way of like, the old, I believe in trans rights and trans wrongs,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Right. And just seeing that was just so refreshing and interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And to even acknowledge the existence of people that, saw their own transition in a way of like trying to fix problems about themselves and thinking it would fix other like emotional problems or make their lives better, or it even acknowledges like the idea of a character that might like pressure someone into transitioning, right? These are things, these are topics that are just like so touchy that's just most people would just be afraid to even include them in a film. Like from this film and the sequel, there's types of characters that like, if you describe this in a reductive way without any nuance and you're just describing like the base, like beat by beat plot or like type of character, you might even say it in a way where it sounds like an anti-trans movie,
Right,
like,
right.
Yeah, but it's not concerned about that because the authenticity is present and notable, right? Just from it expressing itself.
Right. I mean, from what I understand, it seems like there are, of course, going to be trans people who are like, we need to like, why are we showing people that? Why are we putting this out there? It's going to, draw a negative, or anything like that. But I feel like that's the case with a lot of like, perhaps, people who are like concerned about, especially when they're being targeted and there's so much hatred. Yes. It's kind of brave, I think, to put something out this out there and really put it all out there. And I feel like it to me, it just felt like a big, like it has so much empathy in there. And at least for me, it gave me so much empathy for, trans people and what's going on. And like, I think anytime you can show people's humanity authentically like this, that's not just like doing something good in the world. It's just like, it's good art. Like that's what makes good art. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it is very much like kind of an exercise in like radical empathy even.
Yeah.
Which is something I connect with.
And I'm sure there's stuff like, I know there's lots of stuff that probably went way over my head that, jokes or,
sure,
various things. But to me, that also makes it more interesting because I'm just like absorbing everything happening in the film. And, it weirdly felt very like cinematic because I like that I wonder how different it would be if it was shot like in high definition and was like on an iPhone or something, because I do think the old like kind of camcorder look, it feels kind of timeless. Like and it reminded me of like a Lars von Trier film or it feels like it's trying to harken back to that look. So it does to like my mind reminds me of like art house films from like 2000, the early 2000s.
Dogma 95. Like
yeah, exactly.
But the way the camera is actually used in the dialogue scenes as well, the way it will linger on someone, let the performances kind of just sit and feel like organic and natural and sell it. And I don't know, part of this is what is kind of frustrating about my core critique with this, where I love, I think, every single character in this, and I'm intrigued by their character drama, and I love what they're talking about and seeing their world like manifest. But I was kind of contrasting it with Jean Dielman,
Jean
and
Dielman,
the idea Jean Dielman, and the idea of purposefully kind of frustrating you or boring you as part of the artistic kind of expression, baking it into the cake. And I just, unlike in Dielman, I didn't really feel that for some of these shots here that were like just lingering. I don't know what I really learn about the character or move the story along when I see Traps like brushing her teeth in the shower for like 4 minutes and then again later on. And I get it like builds atmosphere and mood, but I felt like that was actually a strong suit of the film anyway. And I guess it's that balance of your pure unadulterated vision and what you want that to be, and the idea of like, yeah, maybe you could trim this down, you could focus it, because I don't know. For me, that was something that was making it, especially in the second half where I was feeling the fatigue more of it.
Yeah.
Especially after losing that momentum of that first 90 minutes where I was like really sold. I'm like, oh, cool, where's this going? And then having to build it all up again, and then it being 4.5 hours, I don't know. As a full package, I found it valuable and expressive and important, but that did hurt its overall, I guess, entertainment value, if you want to call it that, or just as a package for me.
I agree. I think that the pacing issue is like the main flaw to this, at least for me. Like, I do think it would be so much more impactful and stronger if some of that was cut, but
only for normies.
I don't know, Adam, what is your, I do feel like it's a normie filter. Like
exactly. The barrier to entry is important.
But I feel like it doesn't need that. I feel like it's just like
it kind of does.
Putting on airs a little bit anytime it takes that direction.
No, it makes it so that the people watching are the people that like really want to be watching. You know,
it's a balance, right? Because you want that for sure.
That are getting a lot out of it.
That is making it connect, in a way that it might not be able to otherwise. But also, I feel like the idea of, that's one of the great things about art, right? Is to communicate experiences that aren't yours, and when it is true and can connect, it doesn't really matter what the subject is. Like something that is true and emotional and important could wake some people up to like some of these experiences. And I feel like these characters are good enough, and the drama and dialogue is good enough that in some form there would be people like open to seeing it. But I just feel like that packaging can just present itself in a certain way, which, as you say, is intentional. But I just want more people to experience it, I guess, is where my frustration at it lies.
I'm with you completely. I want more people to watch it, and I think even if it was like a 3-hour movie, that's still like, you know, a challenging runtime, but I think that's much easier to recommend to people than 4.5 hours, you know?
Yeah, well, you know, it's challenging to recommend for sure, but
I mean, the content itself is challenging. I mean, there's, you know, when you have scenes of someone peeing on, like there's so much that would be challenging regardless.
Yeah, heaps of nudity, jerking off, sex.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a John Waters film.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Pink Flamingos in there for sure.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's I do feel as though the runtime and pacing is like another reason why it's special. I probably wouldn't have been as eager to check it out if it wasn't so ridiculous. Just knowing like, okay, like what the fuck is it? What, you know, you'd better be fucking confident about what you're showing if you're going to do this. Right. And it was.
I feel like I'd still feel that way at 3 hours though, you know? I feel like I'd still feel like, wow, this is a big swing, even if it was 3 hours.
No, those are rookie numbers. 3 hours are rookie numbers now.
It's not like a competition, though, is it?
It was like like 2 years ago. It was like 9 out of 10 of the fucking Best Picture noms were like over 3 hours. How many years ago was that? Like, these are rookie numbers now, and it's like you know, it's a long spanning film project that isn't even done yet. It's released online. You know, I think she said somewhere like, yeah, you can like watch it on your phone in parts or whatever. The way I see it, or the way I feel about it, it's something that is akin to like a mini series or a television series where, you know, it might not have the episodic breaks in the exact, like, okay, it's been 49 minutes. We have to end this episode and then do a cliffhanger and then start the next one. Sure, we might not have that, but it is, within anyone's grasp or abilities to, just pause and come back to it another time if they want. In terms of, I don't know, pacing and length and interest, I mean, like, I've binged through longer shows than this film. So, yeah, I don't see the runtime as a big deterrent for me. I feel like, yeah, it's a part of the charm for sure. And one more time, like, way faster pacing for me in terms of my experience on this planet than like 90% of Marvel shit. Like, it's just I'm actually interested and invested by what I'm seeing on screen. So even parts like you mentioning her brushing her teeth or whatever, that's not a very long scene. Sure, you could say like, oh, is that necessary? But when you're into the vibe and the aesthetic in the same way that to you, Alex, you're going to be much more attentive and comfortable and into watching something like Train Dreams or Perfect Days. Mm-hmm. That's a type of voice and that's a type of vibe that, a lot of other people might find boring, and they might find like, oh whatever, sure. The guy's like not doing anything. What's this about? Sort of thing. And if it doesn't connect with you, it doesn't. But this type of film and what it's expressing and the ways that it does connect with people, it's that exact same analogy. It's not difficult to get through if it's speaking to you on a personal level. So yeah, the runtime does not hurt it. It makes it more interesting for me.
Yeah, I guess that's where, I don't know, I feel like it does actually connect with me on like a human character level. But there is just something about that tension of the, I don't know, I just don't feel like it needs that
it does
insane runtime, because I don't know, it's one of my most recurring critiques, I would say, like is like runtime of films. And you mentioned the difference between I've binged like a miniseries before, but there is something about that structure. I don't know if this was a 3-episode thing, if that critique would even be fair in the same way, but it's not. It's a Castration movie. Like, it is, maybe it's not intended to be watched in one burst, but it can be. It is. That is how the framing of it, how it's presented to you. Where I would actually suggest to anyone like me who was kind of put off by a runtime like that, if you just did one a day of like one of the 3 parts, I feel like that would be like perfect.
Yeah.
And maybe you wouldn't feel that momentum shift, and I think that would flow a lot better. And maybe I'll do that for the second part, which it's a shame we didn't have a little bit more time, because I'd like to see that second one and include that in conversation, or maybe one in the future.
Sure, yeah, we could talk about it in the future for sure.
Because reading about what that second one looks like it's about, I'm very intrigued.
How long is the second one?
It's longer.
Oh, great.
And it's only 1 chapter.
Okay, interesting.
And there is an intermission.
Okay, very interesting.
I also love the second film, and I believe that the things that you love about the first film are also going to be found for you in the second film, but your criticisms are going to be more present. I feel, but maybe I could be surprised. Maybe the story and type of environment and way it's presenting itself will be more entertaining for you in a way.
Yeah, if what I read is true.
Adam, were you surprised that we liked it so much?
I had no expectations, really.
Oh.
It could have gone either way.
Okay.
But yeah, like the first film is like easy to recommend to people in the sense that, like, I think most people will get something out of one of the 2 stories at the very least.
Yeah.
The second film, it's more difficult to recommend for sure.
Well, okay. This is making me more intrigued.
Well, yeah. So like the connections to like Doug Walker Boldly Flee thing, they're not, that wasn't a troll, but it might not be explicit to everyone who watches it in the way that I perceived it.
Wow.
So it's definitely there.
That's amazing.
And there is, I'm not going to say or spoil, but like there's reasons for it to be there in that way. And I've found my meaning from that already just from a first watch. I've only seen it once. I want to say I like part 1 better, but who knows? Maybe I'll watch this a second time and love it even more. But yeah, like I very, very interesting. A lot of this one was filmed in New York.
Okay.
And it has what's this person's name? Ivy Woke. Who
I know, yeah, I've heard of her.
Yeah. And her character is really funny in it. She's in Honora, she was in If I Had Legs I'd Kick You. She had a role in Friendship.
Wait, so this was partially funded by the Canadian government, right?
I would be not surprised by that at all. I'm pretty sure it is. Because, like, arts grants and funding, pretty sure you can just... There are easier paths.
Wasn't there a Kickstarter as well or something?
Canada. Yeah, there was a Kickstarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably a combination there.
But we can ask whatever we want if we get Louise on the podcast, and at some point we could do that in January.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
No promises. Maybe January, maybe February. But
nice.
Yeah, very special, very unique experience. And also the fact that, like, the second movie is also unique. Like, it's not the first movie. It is in many ways, but it's not.
I heard it's darker. Is it like darker?
It is darker.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil the what to expect, really.
I mean, you say Doug Walker and I'm on board, so.
Yeah. It's very weird.
But yeah, I saw one thing when I was looking at the wiki about like a framing that did seem very like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I think that if you're having similar pacing grievances, that probably the first 2 hours are going to be the most difficult for you, but then after that, it will be fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, fuck. I love you guys finally watched it. You were forced to watch it, finally.
We were forced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy. Good rec.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I watched this.
Are we talking about another movie? We talked about so many movies today.
It's question time after this. But what's your rating for
the ratings?
Oh, I'm going to do 7 out of 10.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be slightly lower, like a high 3.5 star. I feel like there's a 4-star movie in here somewhere.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Totally.
But my experience is...
You said slightly lower, but high 3.5 star is higher than 7 out of 10.
Sorry, high 3 star is what I meant to say. Yeah.
Do your fractions right.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a 4-star in there somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very curious what the both of you will think of part 2. And now that you've started, you have Sunken Cost Fallacy, and you have to continue it to the end.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've already got it downloaded. I've come through.
Nice. I mean, you've already paid for it.
Yeah, might as well.
Watch it at your own leisure. 10 minutes at a time. It'll take you a couple months. Yeah, this is an 8 out of 10 for me. Maybe I think for now I'm giving it a high 8 out of 10. I might give it a 9 at some point.
All right.
It's so special. It's so unique. Like, very, like, culturally important and relevant, and just bold and daring and confident, and showed me something I've never seen before. It works. The choices are motivated and smart. It understands its own strengths and its weaknesses. It also uses as strengths, and it's crazy to have, like a good Vancouver movie that feels like Vancouver. Just, it's very special. Glad people are checking it out.
Yeah, check it out. I'm sure we getting a Best Picture nod, you think?
No.
Oh. That's too bad.
Yeah, well, that's generally how unique and daring and transgressive art works, is that the Oscars doesn't know it exists and will never acknowledge it.
They're scared of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about like the distribution, like how like financially successful it's been, given it is a kind of like a cult underground hit, it seems like. Just intrigued.
Oh yeah, like it's got legs for sure.
It's got legs.
And the fact that, you know, it's the fact that it's so online focused that helps the conversations and the marketing of the film. And yeah, with each successive film, like by the time 3 and 4 are released, like it's got a good amount of momentum going. I would love to see one of these in a theater, although I do feel like both of them benefit from subtitles.
Yes.
There are some parts where it's like, okay, without these subtitles, I would be...
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I started watching it and the subs weren't working on my projector, and I just had to stop it and move it to a different screen where it did work, so I needed, subs.
I watched it on my fucking phone, so...
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just like funny games.
Yeah.
Just like funny games. All right, shall we get to questions?
Gorsh.
Oh, gosh.
So how has your week been, Alex?
It's been an okay week, I guess. I don't know. As I was saying earlier, December's just like... I just feel like there's no time just to get ready for everything.
Seriously.
Holiday stresses me out. I don't like it.
Same.
Yeah, it stresses me out too.
Does anybody enjoy it? Should we all just stop?
We do it for the kids.
I feel like when I'm in it, like, yeah, when the family's all together and stuff, it's like, okay, this is fun, but like, man, there's a lot of stress.
Everyone's just trying to like get to the end of the year, and like I think honestly for me it's like routine. Like I love routine. I like things being the same every week, and then it's like a whole month starting with like Thanksgiving of things like being slightly off and just trying to like juggle time. Yeah.
You should move your Thanksgiving to October.
Yeah, I know. I celebrated Canadian Thanksgiving with you guys.
I celebrated my first American Thanksgiving this year, so I also had 2 Thanksgivings. Greedy.
But I do actually like, spending time with my family, so just need to make that clear. I like actually, doing it, but okay. The stuff around it is annoying.
Yeah.
Questions.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do some questions then from the Sardonicast community. Head over to the suggestion thread over on the subreddit if you want to leave questions for future episodes, just like JoJo's Crazy Reddit did. And a few people asked about this. What are your guys' thoughts on the acquisition of the Warner Bros. Buyout deal between Netflix and Paramount?
Here we go.
Not only are we having Trump make the decision for whether Netflix should buy it or not, but Paramount is making a hostile takeover bid for Warner Bros. Discovery valued at around $108 billion. And just recently, as I'm writing this, there are already rumors spreading that Netflix considered buying EA, Fox, and even Disney before the buyout of Warner Bros. What could this mean for the future of cinema, as this monopolistic situation seems to be becoming more egregious than ever? So this is the latest one in the really boring game of Monopoly where everything is just becoming like 3 or 4 companies that own everything. How's it legal? I don't know. But here we are.
So it's so funny because like David Zaslav just seems to have, kind of just destroyed the reputation of Warner Brothers over
really quickly
a few years. Like, and then we're changing the name to like Max and then changing it back, and like nothing. It doesn't seem like very smart, calculated business decisions. Like the shareholders voted against him getting like a fucking pay bonus.
Yeah.
So it's like, the shareholders are feeling it. Like they're pissed at him. Just a guy making just what he feels to be smart business decisions. And none of these decisions involve art in any way.
No.
They don't involve any sort of like importance on art or preservation of art, having films be written off as tax.
Well, there's like IP.
Just tax write-offs.
Yeah.
And then never premiering them ever, and they get lost to time and become lost media. Even if the film is bad, that's a bad thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be fucking presiding over an art company when you don't give a shit about art. And so yeah, whoever wins, we lose. Who gives a shit? I don't care.
Any positives to be drawn from it?
Nope.
I don't really think of any.
No, I mean, there are people who are like, well, this is better than Paramount because Paramount is like, siding up to Trump and getting on his good terms and stuff. And it's like, what do you think Netflix is going to do to get this deal to go through? Like, because like Trump is basically holding the cards here. The FCC has to approve this. And it's just such a horrible situation and like really depressing, but it's also like the perfect neoliberal, like, outcome of like, I think during Trump's first term, there was like this illusion that the companies are like, and the corporations and the billionaires are like, we have a system of norms and we're going to follow them. And now it's like, all right, we're going to cozy up to Trump and we're going to make sure that he's happy with us and we're going to get what we want and do all sorts of heinous shit to fatten our pockets. And that's just, like you look at the quotes from the CEO of Netflix. Who's it? David Ellison?
I don't know.
I forget his name.
the ones with the cinemas are dead stuff.
Yeah, he's saying like, what we're doing with Netflix and with showing movies at home is like, we're just giving the consumers what they want. And the consumers don't know shit. They don't know what they want, and also like,
yeah.
It's just like it's the same tech bullshit. I fucking hate the tech industry and how they try to revolutionize things that don't, like Uber. It's the same fucking thing where it's like, let's revolutionize rideshare apps. Let's get rid of cabs, with all these unions and having to pay money, blah, 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 blah. And we can just get people to use their own cars and go into debt fixing their fucking cars so that they can make not a livable income, driving people around and say that this is better for everyone somehow. And it's fucking atrocious, and that's what they're doing with movies. It's like, let's reinvent movies so that we can make no money ultimately, because like, where's the profit system here? We're like, okay, like even with Netflix, I feel like they are like hiding the fact or trying to like deny themselves the fact that you can make money with movies, and putting movies out theatrically, like with the fucking K-pop Demon Hunters. Like even they put out that like briefly, because it's like, that's just money on the table that it's just stupid. It makes, it's so stupid and bad, and it's just gonna fucking hurt movie theaters even more. It's bad.
Well, yeah, we're just in this situation where we've let, like, Uber's a good example, Amazon and Netflix are other examples where they kind of use the business model against everyone, where they figured out, okay, we structure these businesses and run them at a loss just for so long that we just soak up the market. And they say, okay, now we own everything. Yep. Now the prices rocket up. Yep. And like, there's no competition, so there's nothing anyone can do. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, how does that help any consumer? All we're going to see is prices go up because now, like, I mean, they bought a significant chunk of Hollywood in the market of cinema. As far as like the biggest movies of the year, they just bought up like a quarter of like the biggest shit that's coming out. It's I don't know, what is even the point of antitrust if this kind of stuff can happen? I felt the same way when Microsoft bought Activision and the EA stuff that went down. I don't understand how this is even like legal at a certain point.
It's the Gilded Age. It's literally, it's just the Gilded Age. And there's going to be, hopefully at some point, a backlash and like something to try to, but it's going to have to get worse before it gets better. And like, the movie theater industry as we know it it's just going to suffer and potentially die and just going to be like a niche thing. I've heard people talk about it like it's going to be like going to a play or going to a concert, to like see something theatrically in certain cities, and it's not going to be available all over anymore. And it sucks. It's really sad.
I'm just never going to get over the fact that like all of these, like the most popular fucking media commentators are all these like weird, like culture war type people.
Asmongold and shit. Yeah,
and like here is like one of the most obvious, prominent examples of a person making decisions that are anti-art. And you know, that was their claim against people like Kathleen Kennedy, right? Who they make like a trillion videos on.
Yeah.
And you search these exact same channels with the term David Zaslav, and they either have no videos, or the few are talking about how he's like based and have him like, and like using the exact same like Hillary losing, screaming person in the thumbnail. So like one of the titles right here, David Zaslav attacked by woke mob after Warner Bros. Cancellations. Batgirl actor demands release, as if like these wokesters want a movie released, and this based guy is saying no tax write-off. Right. And so now, like, I just did a search out of curiosity. I'm like, okay, are they even going to mention this fucking merger thing? It appears as though these people, and there's very few of them even bothering to make this argument because it seems very silly. There's very few people doing this. And the argument is now David Zaslav will have the last laugh on the Warner Bros. Netflix Paramount bidding war. And I've seen people make this argument. Very few. But they're saying no, because they're selling it for more than it was valued. Mm-hmm. So like, it's like more money. Mm-hmm. So even though like the value of the company tanked because of him.
Yeah. But
they're like selling it for more.
Yeah.
So like he was playing 4D chess the whole time, just like Trump.
Of course.
He's based.
Well, in you know, like you guys were saying, like Netflix was running at a loss for years just so that it could carve and literally just like destroy a section of the industry. And not only just like in terms of like accruing wealth or getting viewers, it was like getting validity in the industry, you know, and all of these Netflix movies getting the prestige and getting nominated for Oscars. And that was like a huge strategy, especially for all the streamers, and still is in a lot of ways, you know. And James Cameron, I know, Adam, you have certain feelings about him, but I think he had a great quote recently where he said that Netflix shouldn't qualify for Academy Awards if they're not actually showing the movies theatrically and not just like a 2-week window or something. I think that's great because I think that would motivate Netflix and studios to actually put their movies into theaters and have them play. And like, I think it's a stupid loophole that they can just show Frankenstein for 2 weeks or a week, and then it's like, okay, now we can get nominated for an Oscar, when really it's like, is that not just a TV movie? Should that not be up for an Emmy? You know, it's weird. And I think like there are so many mistakes, and it's been like a slow motion disaster building, and now we're at this point, and it's just like, oh shit, like things are irreparably damaged, and it's just the maw of capitalism eating everything, and we're just kind of there. What can we do? You know, we're watching these billionaires play with their, you know, little train toy sets.
There's going to be like 3 left. Eventually, it's going to be Netflix, Apple, Disney,
Universal.
Yeah, there's like just everything.
Sony.
I mean, I did definitely cancel like the HBO Max, literally just because of decisions that I believe have to have been from him, because they were just like, oh yeah, we're removing all of this shit for no reason close to the end of like a tax year. Right. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, these shows that I watched are gone and not available anywhere else, and this is stupid. And you're like, come on, what are you doing? Like, what am I paying for? I thought it was for the content library. Now you're saying no, tax. Actually, we don't want this on here.
Yeah.
So definitely, yeah.
Shivering Truth is a great fucking show. Sorry, why is it not there? Disgusting. There's one service left that has not been getting worse, and it's only been getting better, and that's piracy.
Oh, I was going to say Apple. I feel like Apple is the other one. It's like,
Apple probably is the best one as far as like quality per thing put onto it.
Which one?
Feels more like a prestige thing. Apple,
Tubi. I like Tubi.
Tubi or not Tubi?
Because like, but I don't think Apple's not like a market leader in the streaming space. It does just feel like we're like $1 trillion company. We might as well just have this prestige. You know, some of these get nominated for Oscars. We got Scorsese working on shit, whatever. It's
seriously
like just worth us to do that. Yeah.
They're acting like Netflix in the early days. where it's just, let's just burn a bunch of money to try to get into this world. But this is also a huge blow for like physical media, like Netflix.
Get on that.
I mean, you'd have to be crazy to think Netflix is going to care about putting out all of the like Warner Archive Blu-rays and restoring films. Like, come on.
No, it sucks.
Yeah.
Although like Netflix has had some deals with like Criterion at points.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're like not as bad for that as like Disney, because Disney just doesn't give a shit about physical releases at all.
Well, Apple also actually they haven't put out like Killers of the Flower Moon or like.
Well, these companies, they must have run the numbers, right, and figured out that it's not even worth their time,
right?
And it's more valuable to them to keep people as a subscriber than to get a little off the top from selling.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, if
physical copies,
if I'm not gonna fucking own it, then I might as well pirate it.
It's weird that they don't get that.
Yeah, I mean, in the future, it's just you don't own anything. You just rent everything, and you don't, you just keep paying constantly in perpetuity, and like it's gonna be sad when it's just like all of this culture, all these movies are just fading and not being shown anew to new audiences. Because like, yeah, Adam, like you can pirate things and find things, and that'll be out there for dedicated fans and lovers of film. But for a teenager like discovering movies and watching stuff like on Netflix, how many movies are older than like 1980 on Netflix that you can watch right now? Probably like 2. So it's like, if it's not being shown and curated to people, most people aren't going to like even discover it or seek it out, and it just makes it harder and harder to keep that alive like in the culture. And we're just like making our culture worse. Yeah. Not to sound like an old man, but like, come on.
No, I mean, that's why there's value in things existing outside of these spaces. Like Castration movie is just doing its own fucking thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't need Netflix. Right? Doesn't need a lot of this shit. It's just like, okay, yeah, well, we're doing it and people are finding it.
Well, yeah, hopefully the vacuum is filled by stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool things happening in the culture. And you guys can fucking be mad about Disney movies not not being other Disney movies.
I guess kind of on a similar note, this is an interesting question from DHMO Protection Agency, who says, what are y'all's thoughts on Letterboxd's video store, where they're releasing some rare films and films without distribution to their platform to rent? Are y'all planning on using it? Do any of the films on the initial slate look interesting to you? So this is something I noticed, it was only yesterday, I think. I was on Letterboxd and saw this new category on there where you can rent these pretty obscure films like directly through the Apple website, which I thought it's actually quite a cool idea.
Letterboxd?
On Letterboxd, yeah. I can send you an article with like some of the stuff that's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's supposed to be like, the film bro site, like, yeah, use that platform to get eyes on, the stuff people don't know about.
Yeah.
Could use some more voices.
More accessibility is better. I like things being available, and if that it's between that and it not being available, obviously it being available is great. You know what I like is that when you click on some of these titles, in fact, all the ones that I see available on actually 3 out of 4 for the unreleased gems category, they say 4K. So they're not skimping out on the pixels.
Nice.
It Ends is in my watch list, so I'll probably watch that at some point.
It's a weird time in movies because like there are so many like unique lower budget films and like filmmakers able to make things than ever before. And I think that's a big part of like technology and the internet and like some kind of democratization there where you can do that. But also like it's so saturated in that where there's so much new stuff. And also like it's either the big budget stuff or the super, super low budget stuff. And I think we've talked about this where it's like the middle is just falling out completely. And it's just probably going to keep moving in that direction where we're going to have like one Avatar movie, one Marvel movie theatrically shown. Or maybe not. I mean, because again, like if you can't be making Avatar movies if a shit ton of people don't come out and pay money to see it. And if movie theaters are closing and dying, like, unless they're I think honestly, a lot of these studios are hoping AI is just going to come in and and fill in and make things cheaper, make these big budget movies cheaper to make, so that they can make things like Avatar without paying people.
Mm-hmm.
There was a deal just announced, right, with Disney and I think it was ChatGPT or something. Some AI image thing. It's going to be integrated into Disney Plus, and yeah, obviously that's where it's going to go.
OpenAI. Oh, okay. Disney invested $1 billion.
OpenAI. Yeah, there you go.
Love it.
Nice.
I love how there was a point where people were like, "Oh, Disney is going to come after OpenAI for using their trademark. Oh, wow, let's side with Disney here. They're going to beat the bad guys." And it's like, no, they don't give a fuck about you. They're going to make a deal. Yeah. They're going to profit off of this. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I feel like that's come up just time and time again on this podcast, is this idea of just access to this stuff. Is so frustrating to me. How much money's just being left on the table with just the way this shit is being introduced to people, or just cut off from people for the dumbest of reasons. Yeah, it's really frustrating. But I got this one from Proper Elephant 7762. This one's for Alex specifically. I noticed how Alex occasionally uses the financial success bad movies, like Love and Thunder, and the Minecraft movie make as points against them, whether it's him ranking Minecraft on his 2025 Letterboxd list below Snow White because the former was successful, or saying that Love and Thunder is specifically egregious for being successful compared to other recent Marvel movies like Quantumania and Brave New World. I obviously understand that it can be frustrating to see a bad movie succeed financially, but don't you think it's a bit biased to view the success of a bad movie as a mark against it? Surely the money made is separate from the quality overall. So you guys jump in if you agree or disagree, but I guess yeah, they are like a separate thing. The money a film makes is not an indicator of like quality, I don't think. But I do feel like a frustration at the industry consequences for something like a Minecraft being successful, because it frames it completely differently. Like Morbius being a flop, a double flop, like only makes it funnier and makes the whole meme better.
Yeah.
And the fact that it wasn't rewarded for that is some sort of weird like karmic justice, whereas those bad habits are being enforced with something like a Minecraft movie, and that's more what I'm kind of opining about, is the fact it is successful, the fact that it's just teaching them that they don't need to try, and that they like, yeah, just mediocrity or something straight up bad or borderline like offensively stupid can be a success. I don't know. There does feel like some justice linked in there when something is as artless as a Minecraft, and it being one of the biggest films of the year, even though it's not an inherent metric of quality.
Yeah.
As far as money spent or money earned.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel on that?
Well, I mean, I feel like none of us are, as much as we try, like objectively viewing a work of art in isolation and judging it in that way. Like all these things are going to factor into it. And especially if a movie like Thor Love and Thunder or Minecraft movie comes out, like that's going to influence like how much money it makes and the success. Like, yeah, that could rub, that's going to influence how you think about it, because those are products. Like first and foremost, those are designed to make a shit ton of money. Those are designed for money. That's not like there was a creative, artistic goal. Beyond that, like I'm sure I know there are people who work hard on those movies to make them as good as they can be, or they're trying, in some instances. But ultimately it's like, yeah, this is a business product. This is a product. So like you have to interpret that and factor that in as much as you want, or try to filter that out as much as you can, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, a film's financial success doesn't really translate to its quality for me at all, really. Like they're just entirely separate things. Some of the best movies in any year can be ones that people just didn't see, and that can exist for a variety of reasons. The idea that like, oh yeah, if a movie's good, people will see it, like it's not necessarily true. Like it needs help. It needs word of mouth. It needs accessibility, right? It needs to be able to be shown in ways. You can have a movie that nobody would have cared about otherwise be a success, just because it was advertised properly and just because it was accessible and available and like the right actors were in it. But, you know, people watch it and then maybe they might not even like it and it'll just be like a huge success that nobody likes. Like the fucking third Jurassic Park movie, like $1 billion. Zero people liked that movie. Every single person came out of that movie being like, that was shit.
I liked it.
Jake liked the movie.
It was shitty fun.
Nobody else had fun. Just Jake.
Yeah.
Right. Lion King 2019, $1 billion. People thought they liked it. Now nobody likes it.
Nobody talks. Nobody even remembers it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It doesn't link to the quality.
And it's influenced the direction that funding has gone.
Uh-huh.
It's influenced the direction that the culture and the film culture has got. Like Disney just triple, quadruple down on these shitty remakes because it became the most successful, highest grossing animated film of all time at the time.
Which is part of why I feel like that's why it's interesting to bring it up as far as like analysis or your feelings towards something. But you have to be able to pick through like what is being talked about. I'm not saying Blade Runner 2049 is bad because it didn't make money. Like, I don't give a shit about that. But I think it's interesting to talk about, like, okay, why did people not go out to that when it's on its face the most, like, obvious, like, you know, it's like a remake of an 80s classic and but it is separate. I think that's fine and both are valuable. Yeah. Should we do one more here? Should we wrap this one up with this one from Arturini, who says, people always talk about great movie scores or great video game soundtracks, but much less people seems to keep TV show scores in the same regard. What do you think? Why do you think that is? What are your favorite overall scores or single music tracks from TV shows? Yeah, I'm not sure why that is, out of like the obvious, you know, Sopranos opening or The Wire and Breaking Bad and that kind of thing. But there are some good ass picks. Like, for me, Dexter, I think has an amazing soundtrack. Love the use of harp. It's just stayed as well in the consciousness. Like,
sorry, are we talking about like movie or like the TV show intros or like the full score for the
scores, or you know, a single track from a show or something that stands out to you like that? Something musical about TV specifically. Yeah, Dexter's a huge one for me. Absolutely love it. Such a strong identity.
Yeah, I feel like I'd have to like look through my TV show catalog to refresh my memory.
Without a doubt, for me, Succession, Nicholas Britell.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Sure, yeah.
And that's like a genuine, like all throughout the whole. That's not just like the intro soundtrack. Like it's very prominent and really like is, I think, so important for like.
It sells so much of the drama, like the way it's used. Like when there's a needle drop. Yeah, it's incredible. Severance recently also has really good music.
Yeah,
it's cold, kind of detached. Severance, that's the, you know, the Apple TV show. I think that's got really great music.
It's more like newer shows.
Yeah, I'd have to refresh my memory because I watch so much less television.
Yeah,
right.
Like 6 Feet Under had.
Yeah, that good music. Death Note has good music.
Seinfeld,
Breaking Bad.
Mr. Robot has some great music in it.
Death Note's a great example because I actually like care about the score for that. And like Wolf's Rain, even though Yoko Kanno is an alleged plagiarist, then it's very likely that it all came from other shit.
Oops.
Don't argue in the comments.
Yeah, some good ones.
Why are you guys asking about TV? This is a movie podcast, damn it.
I feel like we've done TV before. We did Renegade Angel.
You did. I didn't. I didn't sign up for this shit.
True. Common Side Effects as well recently. I don't know that.
Sure.
Any chance I can get to shout that show out? I love the music and whole vibe of that.
Yeah, I'll think about that later.
Beast Games. Yeah.
Beast Games. Yeah. The beasts of games.
Fuck yeah. I don't think we did it. Some good questions.
Yeah.
All right, Jake.
Nice.
All right, recommendation time.
Are you going to give us a Christmas gift or a stocking full of coal?
Yeah, what you got for us? I'm kind of scared.
Have you been naughty or nice?
I think I've been very nice.
So I had a rec planned that I've been looking forward to, that I know that our audience would really enjoy. But then Adam was talking about a Christmas rec the last episode, and he told me after we recorded the episode what he was thinking of doing, and I thought that actually is kind of perfect. And not that I'm like stealing Adam's rec, I just think it would be a good time to do this one. So the recommendation is Eyes Wide Shut.
Yay!
Nice.
Yeah. We did it.
Yeah.
Haven't done a Kubrick in a while.
Exactly.
Haven't seen this film in a while.
I wish I had gotten the 4K Criterion release, because I know that's kind of been a controversial restoration. Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah, but there are people complaining about the look of it, that it looks different than originally. And again, it's like hard too, because that was not like a finally authorized version of the movie when it went out. You know, like Kubrick died like right before it was totally finished. So there's going to be an interesting conversation around that movie. This is going to be fun.
Interesting. Yeah. So I haven't seen this in a long time. This is probably my least familiar Kubrick in terms of like everything he's made since the 80s, or like since the 70s even. So me not having it memorized visually, the whatever weirdness with the Criterion will not affect me. Assuming that it is weird.
Alex?
Yeah.
You've seen this, right?
Yep, I've seen it. I've only seen it once, and it was a while ago.
Nice.
But I actually remember it really well. It has stuck with me, so I'm excited to see this again.
I remember parts of it well. Thank you, Jake.
Yes.
For
fire.
Lovely. It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle. No Quantum Mania today.
Thank you. If you don't want to be spoiled for Eyes Wide Shut, 1999, directed by Stanley Kubrick, his final film that he directed, I guess. Watch it before the next episode comes out. These episodes come out every 2 weeks, but you can also listen to them early by going to sardonicast.com, sign up for premium. It's only a few bucks a month. Or patreon.com/sardonicast. Or click the join button on YouTube. You can join the members. You can listen by clicking on the community tab is where we publish the unlisted ones, so you can listen with background play and everything, just because for some reason it doesn't let you with members. I don't know why. But yeah, that's how we bypass YouTube's dumb shit. So ad-free and all that jazz. And we got Sardonicast stickers, Normie Masterpiece stickers, a perfect stocking stuffer. Link in the description. It's at ymsmerch.com.
Stick 'em, man.
Normie Masterpiece stickers. Get them. All right, cool. Eyes Wide Shut. Looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a happy eyes wide, shut your eyes.
Holidays. Have a happy holidays.
Have a happy closed eyes, and holidays.
Whatever. You normies.
Have a happy Avatar.
Avatar 3. Fuck, I still gotta buy my tickets. No one wants to watch it with me.
Oh, I'll watch it with you.
I'd watch it with you if I was over there.
Thanks. All right. Happy holidays, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.